at Woodluga Prison.
Wolverine and I are locked in a fierce combat. I asked Wolverine why he struggled so much. Is this not what he wanted? Why else would he have come to this place, if not to die? Struggling against my coils, Wolverine thinks to himself that when he came here, he thought he'd find Romulus. He should have pulled back immediately, regrouped, and come up with a plan. But he's been waiting so long that he charged in. Getting tossed into a wall, Wolverine realizes that he was unprepared, stupid, and blind. This was a setup, an ambush. After getting hit in the eyes with my coils, Wolverine is physically blinded. Lying on the ground, bleeding, Wolverine recalls that back during the Cold War, Russian scientists came up with a metal they called carbonadium. It was their answer to adamantium, but in their rush to please their bosses, the scientists glossed over one very important detail. Carbonadium is highly radioactive, and my body is shot through with the stuff. Holding the carbonadium synthesizer in my hand, I am glad to have it at last. All those years Wolverine kept it from me. The metal eating away at my body, at my mind. The C-synth is the only thing that can permanently stabilize the radiation. It was torture I cannot describe. Instead, I will show him. I informed Wolverine that I know of his healing factor. I know that killing him will take a very long time. But now that I have everything I ever wanted, I am in no hurry. I ask Wolverine where his friends are. Why do they not come to save you? Catching one of my coils, Wolverine tells me that he don't need them to take care of my punk ass, and attempts to pull me towards him. Is that so? I grinned. I flipped him up against the wall as if he was a small toy. Landing on the ground with a thud, Wolverine recognizes that I am so much stronger than last time and wonders how. When one of the prisoners weakly asks for help, Wolverine realizes why.
There was a reason why those Russian scientists chose Arkady Rossovich to become Omega Red. His mutant abilities mask the negative effects of the carbonadium.
Wolverine wonders as blood pours out of his eyes.
Red can feed off of others, to siphon off their life force and use it for himself. It's only temporary though, and it's only effective when he has ready access to plenty of healthy donors.
Wolverine snarls. Inside a prison filled with a number of inmates, Wolverine says that means he couldn't have picked a worse place to fight this bastard if he tried. I then tell Wolverine to get up. Gathering his thoughts, Wolverine realizes that if he doesn't get the hell out of there soon, the prisoners are doomed.
Red'll drain him dry. It ain't like he's doing too good there either.
His vision's coming back. Sorta. But he's gonna keep that little secret to himself for now. Wolverine thinks to himself. With that, Wolverine lunges towards me. Hey, I'm over here, blind man. I called out. Wolverine missed me on purpose, dodging my attacks easily. He reaches for the C-synth.
Red's been playing it real smart so far, using his tentacles, keeping his distance, and staying clear of my claws. If I'm gonna have any chance at all.
Logan mumbles to himself. Seeing Wolverine holding the C-synth, I angrily tell him to give it back to me. Holding it out, Wolverine dared me to come and get it. As I rush towards him, Wolverine assesses the situation. He's half-blind, can only use one arm, and he's about as weak as he can be and still stand up. He can't believe this was his plan. As I got close, Wolverine stabbed my coils, and then I immediately back-fisted him for his efforts. As we continue to battle in close combat, Wolverine notices that I am stronger than he is, taller than he is, and heavier than he is. He can use those last two things against me. Using the strength he can muster, Wolverine is able to stab me in my shoulder and toss me into the prison bars. As he stumbles away, Wolverine thinks to himself,
Come on, Red, don't give up now.
He then says to himself,
Yeah, right, like he ever has.
Making his way into a nearby storage room. Wolverine deduces that he's gotta find a way to even things up a bit. That was about all the toe-to-toe action he thinks he can handle right now. Seeing a bunch of chains sitting on a table, He decides that those will work. As I walked into the room, Wolverine smacks me in the face with the long chain. He knows they ain't made of carbonadium, but they're long and heavy. And he can damn sure use them to put some pain on me. As Wolverine uses the chains against me, he thinks to himself that there's not much point in doing this. Every bit he takes out of me, I just replaced with a bit of him. But he hates this piece of crap, and he wants to hit me as much as he can. While he can, once Wolverine is able to knock me to the ground for a little while, he drops to one knee as he's in severe pain. Just then, one of my coils catches him across the neck. Wolverine recognizes that it was just a glancing blow. Be painful, but not much behind it. He notices that I am distracted and that I realized Wolverine doesn't have the C-synth anymore. I see it across the room as Wolverine wonders what will I choose, the C-synth or Wolverine. As I rush towards the C-synth, a smile comes across Wolverine's face. Using his chain, Wolverine catches the lever. It was me, I gasp, before the gates comes down and falls into my chest and pinning me to the ground. Taking the opportunity to leave the prison, Wolverine thinks that it'd be so easy. I would try to keep him back with my tentacles, but eventually he'd get close enough. He could sink his claws into my belly, pull to the side and watch my guts come spilling out. It'd be so easy. Retracting his claws, Wolverine determines that if he finishes me off, I'd just siphon what I needed away from the prisoners and kill every one of them. Picking up the C-synth, he decides that this is as far as things are gonna go there. He knows that now that he has the C-synth, I'll chase after him and eventually I'll catch up. At that moment, I yelled out to Wolverine, "Run away, coward, but know that I'm behind you always. When we meet next, things will go much differently." Gritting his teeth, Wolverine tells me,
You're right, they will.